When I got home, the house was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that feels staged. The dining room lights were still on. The smell of burnt candles and sugar lingered. And there he was, my son, sitting alone at the kitchen table, his face swollen from crying. 13 candles, one untouched cake. No laughter, no guests. He looked up when he heard me, tried to smile, failed. They said there wasn't a seed left. I froze. My wife's voice drifted from the other room, light, casual, too casual. Your mother stopped by for dinner. Everything went fine. But it didn't. Nothing about the air felt fine. That's when I noticed the dining table. 12 chairs, all neatly placed. One extra in the corner, folded, unused. That was the moment something in me went silent. Not rage, not grief, something colder. My mother-in-law had always played her games, small cuts wrapped in politeness, little things, correcting my son's manners in front of guests, whispering about how he takes after his father's coldness, turning every gathering into a quiet performance of dominance. But that night, she'd crossed into cruelty. I could picture it clearly, my son standing by the table, waiting, uncertain, while she smiled and said there were no seats left. The others, my wife included, pretending not to notice. My wife, silent. That was what broke me, not the act itself, but her silence. Later that night, after my son had cried himself to sleep, I walked through the house like a ghost. Every chair, every plate, every faint echo of laughter replayed in my head. I didn't yell, I didn't confront anyone, because when people show you what they are, shouting only feeds them. Instead, I started thinking. Quietly, strategically. I began with the smallest details. The leftover cake. The candles she'd snuffed out halfway. The folded chair. Then I went to the security footage. The cameras I'd installed after our last argument, when she accused me of being too controlling. I watched the video 3 times. My son stood there with his plate in hand. She looked him dead in the eye and smiled. "There's no seat left, sweetheart. Go eat in the kitchen." The others, my wife included, pretended not to hear. I paused the video, studied their faces, every twitch, every false smile. It wasn't just cruelty, it was hierarchy, a silent rehearsal of who mattered. I sat in the dark for a long time after that, the screen glowing faintly. The plan came to me slowly. It wasn't revenge, not in the cinematic sense. It was memory. People forget words. They don't forget what they're made to feel. So I decided to make her feel what my son did. Powerless, isolated, unseen. The next morning, I woke before dawn. While everyone slept, I rearranged the dining room. 12 chairs, perfectly aligned, surrounding the table. One empty chair, his, set at the head, marked with his name. And beside it, her seat, gone, removed. I placed a framed photo on the table, my son in the kitchen, tears streaming, birthday candles glowing faintly in front of him. Below it, a handwritten note. This was your seat. By the time they came downstairs, the light was soft and gold. My wife froze first. Then her mother. No one spoke. She tried to laugh, to diffuse it, but the silence devoured her. Her smile faltered, her eyes moved to the photo, then to my son's name on the chair. I didn't need to say a word. The truth was louder in silence. She turned to me, trembling. What kind of man does this? I looked at her, calm, the kind who remembers. Then I called my son to the table. "Breakfast is ready," I said softly. He hesitated, still unsure, but I pulled out the chair with his name on it. He sat, slowly, carefully. My mother-in-law couldn't meet his eyes. For the first time in her life, she didn't have a seat. She left before noon, didn't say goodbye, didn't return for weeks. When she finally did, she spoke to me with a new kind of caution, measured, brittle. And I said nothing. I didn't do it to punish her, not really. I did it so she'd never forget how it felt, to stand in a room full of family and realize she didn't belong. Cruelty teaches quickly when it comes home. My son never knew the full story. He didn't need to. All he remembers is that one morning his seat was waiting for him again, and hers wasn't. Some lessons don't need words, just silence and an empty chair.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.